The 2025 NFL Draft feels really thin at the cornerback position. After the first 4 or 5 guys in the class, there seems to be a pretty significant drop-off in talent. But like in every draft, there are always some really intriguing sleepers to be found down the draft board. And one of the guys who has really helped his draft stock over the past couple of months is UTSA cornerback Zah Frazier. Frazier was one of the biggest winners of the NFL Draft Combine and is a player that I think could potentially sneak into the back half of day 2. In a draft that's not super loaded at the cornerback position, how high could Frazier hear his name called in the 2025 class? That is what we will be going over in today's video. But hey guys, if you guys are new to the channel, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. Also, be sure to check out my Patreon page, which I will leave linked down in the description below. For just $5 a month, you guys will get exclusive access to my in-depth draft guide and big board, with over 500 prospects and counting. It is one of the best resources available on the market, and you guys will be able to read my written scouting reports, look at the updated Combine and Pro Day numbers, as well as player stats. I highly recommend checking it out if you enjoy my NFL Draft content. Leave a comment and let me know which prospects you guys would be interested in seeing in a future video, and without further ado, let's take a closer look at Zah Frazier. Frazier has a really good story and has bounced around in his college career looking for a better opportunity. He started his career at Southern Illinois in 2019, but things ultimately didn't end up working out there, so he played at Coffeyville Community College for 2 seasons where he was really productive for them. UTSA got their eyes on him and decided to send him an offer, and he transferred to the Roadrunners, and he was a stud in 2024 where he started 10 games. He finished with 24 tackles, was targeted 39 times, allowing a 35.8 passer rating, had 6 interceptions, and 5 pass breakups on the year, and is turning into a really interesting player in this draft class. The first thing that really sticks out with Frazier is his freakish size for the cornerback position. When you're watching him on tape, he is just towering over receivers. He's listed at 6'3", 189 pounds, and has an 80 3/8 inch wingspan. He's got some absolutely phenomenal size that you look for in a starting cornerback. He has length and has fantastic physical traits that really excite me. Frazier just doesn't have long arms though. He has really long legs and has excellent strides for the position. He can absolutely fly for the cornerback position, and that was on full display at the NFL Draft Combine where he ran a 4.36 40-yard dash. He has the long speed to stick with any receiver down the field, and he's very fast. But he's also quick and explosive. He knows how to mirror routes really well, and he showcased some really solid ball skills. He's got the ability to read and react with the football in the air, and I think he's a fantastic mover that teams are absolutely going to love. Lastly, I love the willingness that Frazier shows, particularly as a run defender. He comes downhill and has been a really reliable tackler throughout his collegiate career. He knows how to wrap up, and once again, I think that's an area NFL teams are absolutely going to love about him. The biggest area I would like to see Frazier improve on has to be his abilities in man coverage. Frazier only played 13.3% of his snaps in man coverage and only graded at a 60.5 according to PFF. He's very unrefined in man coverage. He can be slow when mirroring routes at times, and I think he can be way too grabby. He's overly physical, and I don't love that about his game. He just doesn't have a lot of experience playing in man coverage at this point, and it's really unrefined for him. Frazier is also an older cornerback prospect and will be 25 in his rookie season. His overall ceiling could be limited because he just doesn't have the youth that you would like. I'm ultimately not too worried about it, but it definitely could cause him to slip down draft boards. Zah Frazier is a really fun player who has all the physical traits you want in a starting cornerback. But he is almost 25 years old, doesn't have a lot of collegiate experience, and is still very unrefined in man coverage. He may be viewed as more of a project than teams are wanting to take a chance on, but I am a fan of his game. I think he has all the traits that you look for. I love his ball skills, and I think he's got really solid potential at the NFL level. Ultimately, I have Frazier as my number 13 cornerback in the draft class and my number 117 overall prospect. He's got talent and is a guy that I think could be well worth taking a chance on in the top 100 because these type of physical traits just don't come around very often. In terms of a scheme fit, right now I think it should go without saying that Frazier would thrive in a zone coverage scheme. That's where he was most comfortable at UTSA and where he made the most plays on the football. A scheme that allows him to sit back, react as the play is happening, and close on the football with his fantastic speed and quickness, I think is where you're going to get the most out of him at the next level. Ideally though, I think Frazier has the skill set and movement abilities to be a really solid press corner. It's going to take a year or two for him to really develop those traits, but with his physicality and length, I think he could be a really solid press player. My player comparison for Zah Frazier is Cleveland Browns cornerback Martin Emerson. Both of them are fantastic athletes with great length, size, and athleticism. Frazier is a better mover. He's a little bit faster than Emerson, but I think Emerson has had a pretty solid NFL career when he has played in Cleveland. He didn't have the most amazing 2024 season, but I think Frazier has that type of upside to be a solid number 2 cornerback in the NFL, and if a team can figure out how to utilize him correctly, he could be a massive steal down the draft board. Zah Frazier can fly. He's one of the fastest players in the entire draft class and has some really great physical tools. If he can improve his technique and man coverage, I think he could be an awesome player in the NFL, and ultimately, I believe that Zah Frazier will be a top 100 pick in the 2025 NFL Draft.